Today we're in the beautiful countryside of Montepulciano in Tuscany, where I have the pleasure of interviewing John and Nancy Anderson, who will share with us how they were able to find their dream property, Il Portico, which you'll see behind me, thanks to the strong relationship of trust created with our consultant Nicolo Cordone. We'll meet them shortly. See you at the property. And here we are with our guests, John and Nancy Anderson, the new owners of this beautiful property. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're originally from, and what you do for a living?
Interesting. Okay. My name is Nancy McEvers Anderson, and I'm from the Bay Area in San Francisco. Right now I'm living in Napa, California, and I'm an architect. And John and I had been looking in Italy for a while. Of course, with COVID, that put things on hold for quite a while, but looking for some place to either live or buy long term and figure out the next step. So.
And we're both retired, or semi-retired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired Presbyterian minister. Focus on San Francisco. We just thought, why not? We love Italy, and we thought it would be fun to own a property and to use it as a base to travel, because our priority as a couple is to travel in retirement. And so that's what we will do as soon as we finish vacuuming here.
Excellent. And what would you say prompted you to buy a property in the countryside surrounding the beautiful village of Montepulciano? What was it specifically about this property that drew you to this property?
Well, I think it's the area, quite honestly. We are right at the doorstep of Valdorcia, and we're in the wine country, so there's hundreds of wineries around here. Beautiful countryside. We're not in the middle of the city where we are compacted with multiple neighbors, but to have a place like this, it's in the countryside, but yet it's a smaller place where we have 4 neighbors. We have property that we share together. We've got a pool. It's really kind of the perfect place for us, I think.
Great.
We're near Montefalconico and Montepulciano. And then also Tierra di Siena, so we have a lot of amenities. So if we have to have crema for our coffee, we don't have to go far away, which is nice. But we're on a hillside, so we can have a view. We see Mount Amiata just from our loggia. We hear the sheep, we hear the bells, we hear the bees. So I think it's perfect.
Being surrounded by nature, absolutely. Yeah. What made you decide to go with Great Estate, and how would you say, how was your overall experience with your consultant, Nicolo Cordone?
Well, Nicolo, I don't know. Nicolo has been wonderful. But Great Estates was recommended to us by a friend. And we liked the website. And our first correspondence with Nicolo was very positive. He was very responsive. Do you want to say more?
Well, I would just say that I think the recommendation went a long way to starting the relationship, because it's very difficult from a long distance to figure out who to trust. And so we, through friends who had worked with Great Estate, the recommendation came from them as a company. We did get landed with Nicolo. However, no, he's done a great job, and it's been very fun. It's been an adventure all along the way, and I would say that he's been very, very helpful, even beyond the call, to help us get settled and set up accounts and set up banks and set up phones and all that kind of stuff that we would have struggled to do for several weeks. So
car
it's been
rental
awesome.
And
yes,
finding kitchen resources and painter resources.
Yes.
So it just has been
In fact, that was one of my questions, is that we know that Nicolo had provided assistance even after the final signing of the deed. And yeah, I wanted to ask, in what ways would you say he was most helpful? So it sounds like in lots of ways.
Lots of ways.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it takes time to find all that stuff, to find all those resources. And yes, we did get other resources, but you know, it takes time and meeting individuals one at a time to get other resources. So I think being able to get settled as quickly as possible and not feel like you're camping in your own house is really a benefit. And I think that Nicolo was able to help us do that.
Excellent.
And we were worried about getting cell phone coverage, and he walked us through and set up cell phone coverage for us, so we are good to go. So that was a big relief.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know, I think Nicolo knew what he could provide, and he was not worried for us, but we were, because it was a new experience for us, we
Of
had to
course,
discover
of
that. But so we really trusted Nicolo, and he has given us whatever we have asked, he has provided for us. So.
I'm very happy to hear
Yeah,
that. I know
yeah.
we're very happy to hear that. Nicolo, how did you manage to find the ideal property for John and Nancy?
We have met, the first contact was 1 year ago, and actually this property where we are was found by them directly on our website. At the beginning was more an help to understand the typology, the kind of property you were looking for actually. So we discussed more about the beginning, about the typology, so which kind, if it was a farmhouse or a little one, and the area. We discussed about the area also. So yeah, maybe I think my help was at the beginning, at the search, was on the typology more than on to find really this property. Then we have found this property on the website, and we have tried to compare. You remember? Well, it was
Yes,
not
yes.
easy to find many
Not
others.
easy to
So
compare.
I really that point I remember I gave you the suggestion, take this because it's the right one, and I'm sure I still be sure about really. So,
Yeah, I mean, we discovered that it is very unique, and we knew it was difficult to compare, but we had gone to other realtor websites because I looked at property just to compare, and so we were fairly, I don't want to say knowledgeable, but we were fairly savvy as to how this property was unique. And you know, we've bought homes before, so we knew how to look at homes. And then when we came here, it was actually a little bit bigger than we had imagined, which is okay. But it really was even more perfect than we had imagined on the website. So.
Fantastic. So tell us, will you be adding any of your own personal touches to your new home?
I'm sure we will. We're going to put in a new kitchen. So we will be demolishing the kitchen that's there and putting in a new one. And I'm sure we'll be putting some of our own personal touches. You know, bathrooms have yet to be discovered, but that's kind of further down the road. I think kitchen is the first priority. And I think we'll be adding things as we go, so.
But I think the property really is very solid and does not need or require a lot of upgrading. We knew when it was restored in 1994, we thought, okay, 30 years, if anything has been a problem since 94, it probably would emerge. So we felt like what we see, there's no water staining. We thought, okay, it's good. So we don't have to do a lot, but we will do some small things as well as the kitchen.
Of course, you want to add your own personal touches and make it yours.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
One last question to conclude our interview, and that is, how do you both imagine your future holidays in your new home?
Huh.
Wow, that's a good question. Well, you know, I'm hopeful that our children and our grandchildren be able to visit, because this would be a great place to have an extended holiday with them. So we will see about that. And then our future holidays, I think, again, I think as John said, I think we'll use this as a base and we'll be able to go from here and also go exploring. We've been all over Italy already, but there are places that we still want to go back to, or places that we weren't able to spend, you know, more than a couple days in, that we would love to go spend more time. So we will be hiking the Dolomites again.
Wow.
Not tomorrow, but.
Not tomorrow. No.
Yeah, so I think we really haven't thought much about holidays, but I think when you're here, dare I say, every day is a holiday, so.
So, well guys, we have to wrap up our interview, so it was obviously a pleasure getting to see both of you again. Thank you for sharing with us your experience with Great Estate, and congratulations on your new home. And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you at the next Great Estate interview.